So in Module 5, we're going to look at rational equations. And before we start with rational equations, we first have to start with what a rational expression is, and we'll talk about some operations you can do with those. So in Section 1, we're going to talk about how you can simplify a rational expression. So to start, a rational expression is an expression where the numerator and denominator are polynomials. So if you remember back to Module 3, we talked about a polynomial. It's an expression where the variables contain all positive integer exponents. So for example, x over x plus 2 is a rational expression because x and x plus 2 are both polynomials. The domain, so we're going to talk about a general definition of domain, and then we'll talk about it specifically for a rational expression. So domain is all possible values of x. So it's just any value you can plug in for x into any expression or equation. In a rational expression, the domain is all real numbers except for when the denominator equals 0. Because you remember back when we talk about dividing with fractions, I can't divide by 0. So for a rational expression, if you're looking for its domain, you need to figure out when the denominator equals 0. And then it's every number except that. So let's start with a couple examples when we determine if we have a rational expression. So you have x squared plus 3x plus 2 all over x plus 1. So I look at the numerator. X squared plus 3x plus 2 is a polynomial. It's a quadratic. We just did that in Module 4. X plus 1 is also a polynomial. It's a linear equation. So the answer is yes. For B, we have the square root of x minus 3 over x squared minus 9. So x squared minus 9 is a polynomial. It's also a quadratic. But the square root of x minus 3 is not, because I can't have a variable underneath a root. So no, and then because the square root of x minus 3 is not a polynomial. Our next couple examples are we're going to determine the values that are excluded from the domain in each rational expression. So when we're trying to determine which values are excluded from the domain, we only care about the denominator. So for my first example, x squared plus 3x plus 2 all over x plus 1, I only care about x plus 1, and I specifically care about when x plus 1 equals 0, which is pretty easy to solve for. I'm going to subtract 1, so that tells me that x cannot equal -1. It is important you write it as does not equal because we're talking about the values that are excluded, which means not included, in the domain. So x cannot equal -1. My second example, we have x minus 3 over x squared minus 5x plus 6. So we only care about the x squared minus 5x plus 6 and when it equals 0. Now, this is a quadratic. So when you have a quadratic in the denominator, you're going to have to factor. So I'm looking for the numbers that multiply to 6 and add to -5. And that's going to be -3 and -2. So I have x minus 3, x minus 2. So I need to figure out when x minus 3 equals 0 and when x minus 2 equals 0. So we're going to add 3. So we get that x cannot equal 3. And then we're going to add 2. And we're also going to get that x cannot equal 2. So it is possible to have more than one value be excluded from the domain of a rational expression. So let's talk about simplifying a rational expression. So it's going to become more important for us when we actually talk about graphs of rational equations and identifying features of it, is that you want to be able to simplify your rational equation or expression into its simplified form. So what that entails is factoring your numerator and denominator and canceling or simplifying anything from the numerator and denominator. So for my first example, 4x minus 8 over 10x minus 20, we're not necessarily going to always be factoring quadratics. We might be factoring GCFs. So I have 4x minus 8, but if I look, 4 and 8 are both divisible by 4. So I'm going to factor out the 4, and then I'm left with x minus 2. In my denominator, I have 10x minus 20. 10 and 20 are both divisible by 10. So I'm going to factor that out, and I'm going to have x minus 2. So first thing I do is look for anything that can cancel. And my numerator and my denominator both contain an x minus 2. So I'm going to cancel that. And I'm left with 4 over 10. Now we need to see, can 4 over 10 simplify? And it can. Both of those numbers are divisible by 2, so we'll divide by 2. And we're going to end up with 2 over 5. And that's my simplified answer, 2/5. Our second example, we have 2x squared minus 18 over x minus 9. So the first thing I'm going to do in my numerator is 2 and 18, both divisible by 2. So I'm going to factor out the 2, and we get x squared minus 9 over my denominator x minus 9. I can't do anything with x minus 9. There's no GCF. It's not a quadratic. In my numerator, I'm not done simplifying. X squared minus 9 is a difference of squares, which means I can factor that. So I still have my 2 out in front, and then x squared minus 9 factors as x plus 3, x minus 3. And then my denominator is still x minus 9. So now that I've completely factored my numerator, and I look at my denominator, there isn't actually anything that's going to cancel, and there's nothing to simplify with the 2. So this is my final answer. And we're always going to leave it in factored form. I'm not going to distribute it back and write it as the original equation. I'm always going to leave it in factored form. So this one just doesn't end up simplifying. Next example, 4x squared minus 16x minus 84 all over x squared minus 5x minus 14. So the first thing I'm going to look at here is, even though in the numerator the number in front of x squared is not 1, I'm not going to go straight to the box method because I'm going to look for GCF. And luckily, 4, 16, and 84 are all divisible by 4. So I'm going to factor out that GCF, and we get x squared minus 4x, then 84 divided by 4 is going to give us 21. And then I'm not going to factor my denominator yet. I'm going to have x squared minus 5x minus 14. Now I'm going to factor my quadratics. So we still have the 4. And then for x squared minus 4x minus 21, we're looking for numbers that multiply to negative 21 and add to negative 4. And it's going to be negative 7 and positive 3. In our denominator, we're looking for numbers that multiply to negative 14 and add to negative 5, which is going to be negative 7 and positive 2. So now that I've factored my numerator and my denominator, I see that I have an x minus 7 in both, so those are going to cancel. And I'm just left with 4 parentheses x plus 3 over x plus 2. Which again, not going to distribute the 4 in the parentheses. We're going to leave it in factored form. So in D, we have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 all over 4x squared minus 9. Now, unfortunately for us, even though there's a number in front of x squared, there's no GCF. So I am going to have to factor using the box method in my numerator. So we have our 2x squared and our 3. So I do 2 times 3 and I get 6. So I'm looking for the numbers that multiply to 6 but add to negative 5, which is going to be negative 3 and negative 2. So you have a negative 3x and a negative 2x in our boxes. So 2x squared and negative 3x just have a GCF of x. Negative 2x and 3 have a GCF of negative 1, because whatever the sign is of your x term has to be the sign of the constant that you factor out. Then going down, we have 2x squared and negative 2x, which have a GCF of 2x. And then negative 3x and 3 have a GCF of negative 3. So going back, my numerator becomes 2x minus 3, x minus 1. Now my denominator is a difference of squares. 4 and 9 are both perfect squares, so it factors as 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. If I look, I have a 2x minus 3 in both my numerator and denominator. Those are going to cancel, and we're left with x minus 1 over 2x plus 3. Last example, we're going to look at when you have two monomials, which means one term, in your numerator and denominator. So I don't actually do any factoring in this case. I am just doing simplifying. So the first thing I want to do is simplify 3 and 27, which are both divisible by 3. So the 3 becomes a 1, the 27 becomes a 9. When you look at variables, you are figuring out what you can get rid of. So x squared is x times x, and then I just have an x in the denominator. There is one x I can cancel out of both. So if you remember back to when we were simplifying with exponents, you can also subtract. So I'm doing 2 minus 1, which gives us 1. So I no longer have an x in the denominator, and I have one fewer x's in the numerator. So for my y's, I have y to the 7th over y to the 12th. I'm not going to write all of that out, but all of the y's in the numerator will cancel. And then 7 of them will also cancel with the 12 in the denominator, leaving us with 5. So the only thing I have left in my numerator is x. And in my denominator, I have 9y to the 5th. So let me know if you have any questions about identifying something as a rational expression, determining the values that are excluded from the domain of a rational expression, or simplifying a rational expression.